moving to our topic, chemical coordination and integration. When we are talking about the nervous system, we talked about the neural control, but that is not a long lasting control. So we have to depend on something which is known as a chemical control, which is lasting and which bring in changes in the body. Okay, so for that we say chemical control, chemical coordination and integration in the body is one such mechanism which control the vertebrate body organization. Here we say, what is the first thing that we need to know? That is the types of glands. See, in the vertebrate body, the glands may be classified on the basis of presence or absence of ducts. We know them as exocrine gland and endocrine gland. Exocrine, where the secretions are carried by ducts, to a particular organ for some metabolic activity. Okay, secretions are carried by ducts where to a particular organ for some metabolic activity. If we have to list an example here, we can say salivary gland, we can say liver, we can say pancreas as well because there is pancreatic duct. Coming to endocrine. Endocrine, where glands have no ducts. Okay, and their secretions get absorbed. Here secretions get absorbed into immediate surrounding blood circulation to reach the specific organ to initiate a metabolic change. ओके क्या होता है? इसमें डक्ट्स हैं, इसमें डक्ट्स नहीं हैं. One thing is very clear. Secondly, mode of action will remain the same. That is, here ducts have to reach a particular organ for some metabolic activity. Here the secretion get absorbed in the surrounding blood medium to reach to specific organ. Alright, action is just the same. And when we talk about these actions, we see the endocrine glands, they secrete certain chemicals known as hormones. The secretions that we are talking about are the chemicals known as hormones. In fact, hormones are non-nutrient chemicals. They are not a source of nutrition at all. They are non-nutrient chemicals which act as intracellular messengers and are always produced in trace amount. So what are the qualities? First of all, non-nutrient. Number 2, act as intracellular messengers. Number 3, these are always produced in trace amount. Okay, so this is what is all about hormones. Who introduced hormones? This term hormone is introduced by Starling in 1905. Starling introduced hormones. Now coming to the properties in detail. First of all, these hormones, these are always secreted by endocrine secretions, meaning these are endocrine secretions. Number 2, these are transported via bloodstream. We have just discussed that it is absorbed in the immediate solution of blood and is transported further. They act as chemical messengers. Then what do? Then they move further and act on target organ. So they are very specific in their function. Hormones do not provide energy. It's not an energy source. It's not a nutrient source. Do not provide energy or any building material. But yes, they are helpful in growth, differentiation, and to carry out metabolic activities. Fine. Next one. What about the molecular weight? Are these secreted in kilos or half a kg or a ton? Not at all. These are always secreted in a very small amount and they have a very low molecular weight. Hormones have a very low molecular weight. Now, what do? They belong to different types of chemical structures. What is it? Yes, they are not a fixed one type, that they are only amino acid derivatives or they are only steroidal in function. They belong to hormones. Belong to different type of chemical structures, like they can be amino acid derivatives, polypeptides, then they can be steroids. Polypeptide means proteinaceous in nature, protein based nature. Then are steroids, okay, and they are always effective in very low concentration. I'll rather make it a point that these are effective in very low concentration. The next is if these hormones are provided in excess or less. One is excess, one is less. These always cause problems. Okay. Number 7. Excess or less quantity always lead to disorders. Fine. And next is very important, they may accelerate or inhibit specific physiological process. Means sometimes they are produced, mainly many of them are produced in inactive form, prohormone, and then this is further becomes active, and this accelerate or inhibit specific physiological process. Clear? And when we talk about its form in which it is secreted, inactive form, prohormone. Like I'll give you an example of that, secreted in inactive form. Many of them, like proinsulin, then it turns into insulin, which is active in our body, and mainly they are used in the regulatory action. This is all about the properties of hormones. Clear? Now we have discussed this point that they are of variety of nature. They can be of amino acid derivatives, polypeptides, then steroidal. Let's choose this part in detail. Now, types of hormones based on their chemical nature. Based on the chemical nature. First of all, we are talking about amino acid derivative. When we say amino acid derivatives, then examples are epinephrine and norepinephrine. Alright, epinephrine, norepinephrine. These are derived from amino acid tyrosine. Clear? Melatonin, serotonin, another example. Hopefully this example is not given in NCERT. So please, serotonin, Tonin. These two are derived from amino acid tryptophan. Okay, second is peptide hormones. When we are talking about peptide hormone derivatives, these are hypothalamic hormones. These belong to a category of hypothalamic hormones, in which we consider ADH, antidiuretic hormone, oxytocin. Clear? These proteinaceous peptide hormones, or we can say protein hormones. Then in this category we can easily list insulin, protein based, glucagon, protein based. Then we can say pituitary, right? Pituitary hormones, which are growth, thyroid. In pituitary, further growth hormone, thyroid hormone, TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, thyrocalcitonin, parathyroid, they come to this category. Alright, let's list it up. Growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, then thyrocalcitonin hormone, and then parathyroid hormone. TSH is thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay, so growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, thyrocalcitonin and parathyroid, these four belong to this category of peptide hormones or protein hormones, along with ADH and oxytocin, because these are hypothalamic hormones. Now the third category, these are ido, thyro. Iodothyronins. This is a group of iodinated, मतलब iodine based. iodinated, iodine based amino acids. Okay, these basically have a diphenyl ether ring system in the side chain. These have diphenyl ether ring in the side chain. एंड इसके एग्जाम्पल में हम लिखते हैं थायरॉक्सिन, the longest and the best known of this group. Okay, and the fourth one we are moving to is the steroidal hormone. The steroidal one is aldosterone, cortisol, androgens, calcitriol, CAL, and testosterone, एस्ट्रोजन, जिसको हम एस्ट्रोजन भी बोलते हैं, एस्ट्रोजन कैन बी रिटन विद ओ एंड कैन बी रिटन विद ओनली ई, एंड प्रोजेस्टेरॉन. Clear? So this is the hormonal nature based on the type of their chemical nature. That means the type of hormones. First one we did the amino acid derivatives. Then we did the peptide and the protein based. Then is iodothyronins, and fourth one is the steroids. Clear?